Hey everyone, how is everybody doing tonight? Um, while we wait for our guest to come on panel, um, let me greet everybody. See here. Sorry guys, I have the YouTube's on one screen and the StreamYard on another. Hey Anissa, Music City Mom, Kim Maple, Debbie Howard, Janica, Rabbit. Thank you guys. Unseen True Crime. Thank you guys for being here. Do I need to drop the link back in chat? Okay. Guys, this link is just for Robin. Tonight, as you see by the title, I am talking about, or we will be discussing a tragedy. Hello, Miss Mouse. Yeah, so today we will be talking about a tragedy. We're just waiting for our guests to arrive. Tattoos and Unicorn, how are you tonight? So yeah. Other than that, how are you guys? How have you guys been doing? It's been a busy week for me. Today I actually had to run 2 machines instead of 1. All right, so Miss Robin is backstage. I'm going to add her on here now. Guys, please show respect to all our guests as you always do. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Hey, Miss Robin, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I am all right. Let me put my headset in so I can hear you, okay? Sorry, I had it charging. Okay. So sorry about that. Let me connect it here. All right. Let me take these off my neck because I don't need them. Sorry, Miss Robin. Sometimes I get discombobulated like that. How are you doing this evening?
I'm okay.
I know you have a story to tell. I've got some questions for you afterwards, if that's okay.
That's fine.
All right. And guys, let's just throw hearts in the chat for Miss Robin. She's been through it, right? And let's remember to add her to our prayer list. That we, if you pray, let's add her to the prayer list. If you don't, send good vibes and just healing to her, okay? All right, Miss Kim. The floor is yours. If you're ready to share your story.
Um, this is definitely trigger. Back in 1994, my daughter was kidnapped, raped, and murdered by a 16-year-old, and I am still fighting. I don't really know when court is going to be. Now they've changed it again to 2023, which is, right around the corner. He was originally sentenced to natural life in prison without parole. And the United States Supreme Court came out with a new law for juveniles It's called the Miller case versus Alabama, which technically means the judge can sentence him to term of years. So, say if she goes ahead and sentences him to 60 years, he'll only do 32 because he's already done 28. The longer he sits in there without going back to court, the shorter his sentence becomes when he is finally sentenced again.
Right.
So we are living this every single day. I am, for real. I mean, my son, he has his kids, and just every single day I live this, wondering, what's gonna happen. Like I'm stressed every day just thinking about it.
Right. Um, would you um, would you care to, like, I've got a couple of questions. Would you like me to start with that? I mean, I know this is such a sensitive subject, and I will definitely add you to my prayer list. And what was Nicole like as a child? Let's do some happy things, right? Let's do some happy things. I want you to be
Nicole, as
happy.
a child, was a
Yeah.
happy child. Um, she was born at 7 pounds 5 ounces. She walked at 9 months old, and she didn't stop. Um, her favorite thing on TV was Barney, and now my new granddaughter's thing on TV is Barney, which is crazy. But
Wow.
Nicole, she had two big brothers. Well, not really. I mean, Nathan, her young, my kids at the time were 5, 6, and 9. So, but Nicole, she was a little tomboy. She loved school, even though it was just pre-K. She loved getting up and getting on the bus and going to school. She loved playing with the puppies and all the animals. We had cats, and her best friend, Jason's stepsister, they had puppies, and
What did Let me see here. I've got, what did Nicole and Nikki like to do together?
Nicole and Nikki, they played house in Jason's father's house that he used to have next door to his house. They would all go in there and play house. Not Jason, the girls. There was like 3 or 4 girls that would be playing around, which was across the street from where I lived, and most of the time they were in the gate with the puppies, but
Right. Okay. Here. Um, Now this is going to be a hard question. If you don't want to answer, it's completely up to you. What was Jason like prior to April 26, 1994?
the Jason I knew, he was a very quiet person. He didn't ever disrespect me. He was quote unquote like a babysitter because like his dad worked and his stepmom worked and he was like always home with the girls. And from what I understand, he's done some things that I wasn't aware of until like 20 years later. And that really bothered me when I found out
Right.
what he did, you know. Um Nothing to do with human, but animals. He used to kill animals and
Wow.
well, I didn't know this. I didn't know anything like that. I found out this while I was taking my trips to Michigan to rally. Um, I found out that at 15, I think he went to school with a syringe of something and he was going to inject it into this girl. And I'm like, why wasn't anything done about all this behavior, you know?
Right. Right. Because those are clear signs. Clear. Um,
But as far as Jason as a person, when I knew him, all I seen was him just standing outside watching the girls, and he'd go in the house for a while, and they'd still be in the yard with the puppies because they were just, starting to walk. And I don't know. One day, I suppose he knew. I'm not gonna say I suppose he knew that Nikki, my daughter's best friend, wasn't there, and he called my daughter over there and asked her if she wanted to play with Nikki. And I didn't think anything of it because that was her routine. She'd get off the bus and change her clothes and she'd go across the street. It was her everyday thing that she did.
right. Um, can you tell us what happened to your daughter Nicole on April 26, 1994?
When I didn't see Nicole, because she had a certain time to come home, when I did not see Nicole at 3:30, I called the police. I think it was they got there at like 3:45, and I told them I can't find my daughter. And I had many pictures of her, and everybody just started joining me, searching for her, screaming her name. And there was rumors going around somebody in a white van got a hold of her, and I was panicking, and I was like, I never knew what panic attack was. And I don't know, it turned into like 100 people or more looking for my daughter. Um, well, I didn't know Nicole was in that basement, and no one never thought to go look in the basement of that abandoned house. We were just running around, we were running through the businesses all through the area, screaming her name, and it started pouring down rain, and we still couldn't find her. Everybody went in. I think it was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. We still couldn't find her. And it was really quiet. There was nothing. There was nothing going on. There was no kind of activity until the next morning. I tried to go. I saw the police and the cruisers over there at Jason's house, and I tried to go over there, and they saw me coming, and they literally had to carry me back home, and they had to guard both of my doors because I was trying to go back there.
Right.
Because I at that time I put, two and two together. I'm like, something's not right. That's my daughter back there. And then hours
Right.
went by and they came to my door and asked me about a funeral. And needless to say, I fell out and ended up in the hospital because I started having bad panic attacks.
Right. I couldn't imagine being in your shoes, Miss Robin. Um, um, and I know you alluded to the fact that there's a possibility that he could get parole.
It's not about getting paroled, it's about term of years. He's not up for parole. It's up to the judge. I mean, the prosecutor, she's going after life without the possibility of parole. But
Right.
we've already been down this road. He's already been sentenced at 17. This Miller case versus Alabama came out in 2012. So,
Right. And Miss Robin, Music City Mom sent me a little background information. Would you care if I read that so that people could get like a detailed or like a just a overall, an overall view of Nicole's story? Or
yeah, that's fine.
okay, let me find it. I am so sorry. Um, I just had it pulled up in my email. Give me just 1 second, guys. I am absolutely sorry. Um, most days I fly by the seat of my pants, and today's just one of those days where I am flying by the seat of my pants.
Too.
um, so I've got it pulled up here. Mods, I'm not going to be able to see the screen as I read this. So if you want to throw out trigger warnings, or just kind of mind the chat for me. I've got some great mods in here, and great people in general that come to this channel. So all right. So I'm going to start reading to give an idea of what Robin's dealing with. Okay. Okay. When confessing to his, wait a minute. Let me make sure that I'm reading the, yeah. Okay. So when confessing to his friend, although defendant claimed that he did not mean to kill the victim, he did admit to intentionally striking her on the head more than once. And when confessing to the police, although the defendant initially claimed that he accidentally struck the victim with a hatchet while chopping a tree in the backyard, he later contradicted that claim by admitting that he struck her as they walked down the basement steps. Furthermore, we note that even if the defendant continued to maintain that the initial blow was accidental, he did admit that he hit the victim with the metal stick after taking her to the basement and discovering that she was still breathing, and further indicated that he hit her with a little of everything because he wanted to make certain that she was deceased and not suffering. Therefore, despite the defendant's bald claims of accident, and it's clear from his own confession that his acts were intentional, as well as the consequences of those acts. Based on the evidence presented, we find that no reasonable juror would be convinced that the defendant was entitled to an acquittal under the theory of accident, and consequently, counsel could not be faulted for failing to request such an instruction. Um, I'm just blown away, Miss Robin. I cried tears over this. I'm so sorry. Um, so how, if you don't mind me asking, how do you? And I know that the wounds are still fresh. Um, how are you? How are you? Just handling the day by day.
It's hard. Um, I mean, it's the only thing that's taught me is to follow missing and exploited children. I've been following Summer and Michael Vaughn and so many kids. Um, I talk about my daughter to everyone. I want everyone to be aware of what he did to her. And if you could have listened to the interrogation, that's not what he said in the interrogation when he was being interrogated. Um, the detective asked him why. Why did you do this to Nicole? He said, because I wanted to. I have a question for him when Michigan brings me up. Why did you do that to my daughter? You're 44 years old. You were 16 when you said you wanted to. Now I'm going to ask you the same question. Why did you do that to my daughter?
Right. Wow.
But every day is a struggle. Every day is because the not knowing of, are they going to let him out? Are they going to put him in a halfway house? Are they going to, they can't let him out in the street. He's been institutionalized for 28 years. People that are institutionalized normally go to a halfway house after prison. And I heard that halfway houses are not, would not be a safe place for him because they can come and they can go wherever they want. They just have to be in at a certain time, from what I understand.
Yeah, they're very lenient there. Um, they are absolutely. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Is there anything that you would like to impart to parents out there? Just anything, words of wisdom. You know, anything.
Well, I would tell any mother that's going through this or has ever went through this They say it does get better, but I guess you have to want it to get better. I mean, I really don't. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I try every day to go through this. I try to talk to my son about this, and he wants to go. He wants to show out, is what he wants to do, and he can't do that.
Right.
You can't go to Michigan and show out in front of a judge. I can't even do that.
Right. Um, do you feel up to taking any questions from the viewers? If they have any questions?
I can answer anything anyone asks me.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to tax you too much. I know that you want to share her story, and I feel privileged that you came on my channel to share her story. Oh my goodness, Music City Mom said you also lost your son to a drowning later.
Yes, Nick, he was 29. He had epilepsy for 14 years, and his his hobby was fishing because he was on disability, and that's all he did was go fishing. And
Right.
of all places, he drowned in that one spot. I just I don't know. I don't know. I just thank God that his body wasn't touched by a gator. I mean, the Lord had
Right.
different plans for Nick. For Nicole, that should never happen. I'm not saying you know, I'm over Nick. I'll never be over him. Nick was my firstborn. Nick was my best friend, but the Lord already had different plans for Nick. I mean, he was suffering bad. I mean, he had bad seizures. I mean, he was found in many different places after having seizures.
All right. Miss Checking wanted me to read this to you. I don't know if you can see the screen or not. But she said, "Bless you, Mama. You may never hear the answers because you will never be okay from the loss. I say, stay strong for your baby. She may be gone from Earth, but she's never gone from you. Gone, but never forgotten."
Yes.
And I am definitely going to screenshot that um, address for the judge, because there was a couple people asking what the address for the judge was. Yes, guys, if you feel the need to send a letter to the judge, justice for Nicole definitely needs to happen. There's also a petition. Music City Mom, do you have that link for the petition that you could put in the chat? Okay, and who do we address? Um, who do we address it to? Is what Tracy F610 wants to know as far as letters to the judge. I guess it would be to Judge Sarah Lincoln, right?
Yes.
Oh, do you, um, to title the letter Nicole's Voice.
No, I mean, that's not necessary because the judge don't know about, YouTube and Facebook, and I mean, she might, but she's more into reading the letters, without cuss words in them, because If she reads a
Right.
cuss word in a letter, she's just going to throw it away. And I always tell everyone, I just read my sister's letter she sent out 2 weeks ago, and it was very professional.
Right. Let's see here. Checking conviction said, not the judge. The parole, please. Judges do not take kindly. He is not up for parole, right?
No, he's not up for parole. And if you don't want to write to the judge, you can also write to the victim's advocate. It just put victims unit with the same address. It's all in the same building.
Right.
I don't have my own advocate. I have to talk to whoever answers the phone, which is ridiculous. I've been doing this for well
Um,
over 10 years.
Music City Mom asked you to explain the Miller versus Alabama.
Miller versus Alabama is a statute that the United States Supreme Court handed down in 2012, way after Jason was sentenced to life in prison. All that Miller case versus Alabama is a protection for juveniles. They call it unconstitutional to house a juvenile for life.
Wow. And Music City Mom, or not Music City Mom, but Pitbull Mama 67 says, Robin, you are a very strong woman, and I can't even imagine how you do it every day. I wish I was as strong as you are. Um, and then she just asked me to tell you, please. You're a very strong woman.
Thank
Definitely
you,
warrior
Pitbull.
strong.
I can't do it without the Lord. The Lord always tells me, just be quiet and listen. Just be quiet and listen.
Yes, and those overlays, guys, that I put up, I'll put them back up. This is Nicole. She's a beautiful
That's
little girl.
that's why I changed my profile picture, because a lot of people say that she looks like me.
She does. She does. She sure does.
That picture is at the courthouse right now. That's the biggest picture of a child there at the victim's unit.
She's beautiful.
Thank you. With her big blue eyes. I never knew, I never knew where she got her blue eyes until I met my mother. I met my mother at 30 something, and I said, wow. All I did was stare at her. And she's like, what is it? I said, that's where my daughter got her eyes.
Right. Um, a Music City Mom wanted you to know that God and Music City Mom have your back for sure.
Yes,
Um,
Music City Mom is awesome.
she is. She is. I tried to get her to come up here, but I understand not wanting to be on panel. Sometimes YouTube can be a scary place, right? But I think in here I've cultivated an audience that kind of just, they're just so loving and kind, you know. Everybody in here is usually just kind. Um,
I'm not scared to get up on panel. I'm not. I've been doing this for quite a while. Not on YouTube, but going back and forth to Michigan the last few years and rallying. with the news and police escort. I mean, I won't shut my mouth. I'm like Bullhorn Betty. I won't shut up.
Right. Um, Tracy F610 says, Robin, may God be with you and comfort your heart and soul. And I am praying for you and your family. And then Pitbull Mama 67 says, there's a purpose for you somewhere, and it'll come to you soon. And then you will understand your purpose in life. Start speaking out like you are on YouTube to different places somehow, some way. I believe that. I believe that.
I try.
I
I've been
love,
on I've been on a couple panels, but I've also got booted from a couple, so it is what it is.
right. Um, yeah. And Anissa says, please go on every platform and continue this justice for your daughter. Um, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, there's not enough, I mean, there's not enough people that when you see something, say something, right? There's not enough people
Right.
in this world that do that. And that initially, that's, why I wanted to start this platform anyway, is just so that people had a place where they could just tell their stories, because I think it matters. We all matter, right? We all have a story to tell. We all live separate lives, and we all walk a different walk. And Music City Mom put, originally Robin was getting clothes for court, but my husband and I are going to take care of that. She needs help with things now. And I have been putting your Cash App in there. If mods want to grab that Cash App and, put it in the chat. If anybody feels the need, hi Tammy. If anybody feels the need to help out Miss Robin, her Cash App is scrolling in my scroll, and I will put it in the chat. Um,
Yes,
there it
Nicole
is.
sees this. Nicole sees everything I do, and some things I don't want her to see me do, like smoke. Both of them are watching me. I know.
Yes, absolutely. Um, yeah, for once I'm at a loss for words, Miss Robin. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Like, you know, maybe sometimes speaking out will change legislation. Because obviously, if we just sit back and say nothing, nothing's ever going to change, right?
Well, that's true, but um, like the United States Supreme Court made this ruling, and I can't fight them. You have to have big money and a big attorney to fight the United States Supreme Court.
Right. Mouse for you to envy says, thank you, Robin. I got the honor of meeting a beautiful little soul. I will carry her story and share it with others.
Thank you. Yeah, Nicole's stories everywhere. I want to get on some of the big channels with, a lot of audience, but right now it's about Kylie, so it's going to be that way until the tests and stuff are done.
Right. And Music City Mom says, if I was brave enough, I would get up and give the other details to show you he never needs to get out of prison ever. Um, And then Pitbull Mama says, I'm proud of Music City Mom taking on this with you, Robin. She is the best ever. I love her.
Yes,
You
she
guys
is.
are awesome.
She's been working on this case for a while. Things that I don't even go into. I have a tote of court dockets from 95. I won't even look at them. They're just sitting in my closet. I don't even look at the newspaper anymore.
Yeah, you're definitely warrior strong, Miss Robin. And I don't want to keep you on too long. It's been 40 minutes. And is there anything else that you would like to share or any parting words?
If you can, try to be an advocate for children, for missing and exploited children. You can take a class online. I don't know. I thought about it. I've looked into it. I'm not financially able to do that right now, but I do advocate for not only my daughter, but Summer, and I try to advocate for Monkey, but um, watch your children. Make sure, because a family member can get a hold of your child. It's not necessarily a stranger. I mean, Nicole knew Jason. Nicole been known Jason for 2 years. So you never know who or what is looking at your child.
You're right. You're right. Um, all right, Miss Robin. I I generally at the end of my lives I do roll call and just thank everybody for being here. Um, and always part with parting words. I did greet some people as they came in. Johnny R. Kramer, the Music Movie Channel, thank you for being here. Miss Robin, thank you for being here. Anissa, as always, thank you for being here. Kim Maple Syrup, thank you for being here. Checking Convictions, Music City Mom, Janica, Tracy F610, Kim Maple Syrup, White Rabbit, as always. Shalima Tong, thank you. Um, Debbie Howard, thank you for being here. Guys, if you get a chance, um, you're more than welcome to share this link on Facebook. Frankie Hopkins, thank you for being here. Anybody, you can share this link anywhere. Pitbull Mama 67, thank you for being here. Mouse for you to envy, thank you for being here. Um, and guys,
Yes, they're
oh,
trying. They're trying to. The witness unit doesn't even know my name, and I made my name known to them because they're supposed to lodge me and fly me to Michigan when this happens. And she was being kind of nasty to me about, well, I'll just talk to the prosecutor and you can do a Zoom. I said, I don't have Zoom. I don't have a phone or computer to do Zoom. So I'm really disappointed in that. And anyone that wants to join, we are Nicole's Voice. It is on Facebook only. You have to ask to be approved because it is on private for certain reasons. But I will approve you. Like I said, it's We Are Nicole's Voice. And in there, you will find a lot of interesting things. You can watch the news. You can watch him being interrogated in that news that you cannot share. No YouTuber can share it because We don't want any lawsuits going on, and I say that because she's already said something about it. The news lady has, so we don't share it.
Right. Wow. I will definitely go over to Facebook and request to be added. It's Dazed and Confused on Facebook. I shortened it for YouTube so people could find me. And guys, like I tell you every time I end a live, we're not promised tomorrow. Reach out to a loved one you haven't talked to in a while and tell them you love them and that you care. Um, Smile at a stranger. You know, it's a win win either way. They'll either think you're crazy or they'll smile back, right? All right,
Yeah.
guys. Sis Crank, I
Thank you.
didn't call your name out. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Miss Robin. Go ahead.
Thank you for having me up here, and thank you, Musically Mom.
Well, absolutely.
Music City Mom 2. I got to get it right because I always call her Musically Mom. I don't know why. She's probably laughing at me in chat.
All right, guys. I'm gonna end this live here. But yeah, if you guys want to see more information about Nicole and be a part of Nicole's Voice, it's Nicole's Voice on Facebook. And like she said, just ask to join. It is a members only group, so you'll have to be approved to join. Um, but until next time, guys, love one another, okay? Bye.
Bye. Thank you.